Parameters and argument in functions. So now what is parameters? Parameters are the values provided in the parenthesis when we write functions header. So parameter are the values provided in the parenthesis when we write functions and header. This is the definition of parameter, and this is the example of parameter. How can we design? So just define function of SI simple interest and just P comma R comma T, and this is the okay. So these are the parameters received by functions. Now next is returns. So P into R into T divide by 100, and we can, this is the parameterized functions. Now next is argument. What is argument? Argument is a value that is passed to the function when it is called arguments. That means argument is a value that is passed to the function when it is called a argument. यानी कि functions में जो value pass की जाती है वो क्या कहलाते हैं? Arguments कहलाते हैं. Just like a simple interest, we call that of SI is our functions, and we pass the value. My principal is 5,000. Rate is a 10%, and time is a 2 years. Okay, so time is a 5 years. Now execute this functions. Now see the what is the simple interest for 5 years? Percentage of 10, 2,500 rupees. Okay, so we are having alternate names of argument and functions. The alternate name for argument are actual parameters and actual. That means that is the alternate names of argument are actual parameters and actual argument. Now another topic is alternate names for parameters. The alternative names for parameters are formal parameters and formal arguments. So we are having a different alternative names of these. So now execute. Now our another topic is types of argument. Types of arguments. So we just started types of argument regarding the things. So first consider the arguments. What is the actual argument? I told you earlier, pass the value for in the functions, it's called argument. Okay, so these are the arguments of one is the positional arguments. Okay, now second is the default arguments, and third one is a keyword arguments, and now fourth one is a variable length arguments. These are the four arguments, types of arguments. So, okay, so execute our data, and now we started about first arguments. So what is the positional argument? Positional arguments are arguments passed to a functions in correct positional order. So just like example, just I am giving the example along with them. Okay, position. So positional arguments, these are the arguments passed to a function in a correct positional order. It's called a positional argument. Now let's see the example. Def, suppose subtract is the function name, and we use two parameters, and just like a print a minus b. So this is the positional argument. Now you can use this function. We can use either here sub 20 minus 40 and see the output. So sub is a missing one required positional argument. Okay, so we cannot use minus, we have to use comma. Okay, the function is a comma, so you can that output minus 10. Okay, because first value is a plus, then other values automatically it will change. So understand what is the positional argument. Now we use a default argument. Our next topic is, now our next term is default arguments. So default argument is an arguments that assume default value if a value is not provided in the functions call for that arguments. So friends, what is the default argument? Default argument is an argument that assume a default value if a value is not provided in the function's call for that argument. Okay, So now we see the example of this example of default arguments. So first we design a def keyword, and msg message is the function name. Name is equals to Umesh, and that is the okay. So print command is in that hello, and we use comma, then name comma how are you. And now we just try to execute of these functions. msg and name is, suppose I use ajay, and one is the by default msg, and this is the msg. So now execute the output. First one, hello Ajay, how are you? And another one is, hello Umesh, how are you? So what is the name? Okay, so we just think one message is used to different type, so both are the valid. Okay, so both the name should be there, and we use a different name can be set. This is the default argument. If a function call is not provided, that is the Ajay is the not provided of the name, and that is the automatically. This is the default argument. Okay, so now our next keyword is term is keyword arguments. So what is the keyword argument? This definition is the state of truth. If there is a function with many parameters and we want to specify only some of them in function call, then value for such parameters can be provided by using their name instead of the position. These are called keyword argument or named arguments. So friends, what is the keyword argument? So we use just a little bit market code. It's damn good. Okay. Keyword argument, if there is a function with many parameters and we want to specify only some of them in a function call, then value for a such parameter can be provided by using their names instead of the position. These are called keyword argument or named argument. Got it? So are you getting my point? So and we use markdown, it's simple and streets. Now see the example of just look at the example of named argument and served. So just look at our earlier example. Define we did msg a message, and that is the name, and comma msg1 is the keyword. Okay, so we use print command, and one is the hello, and second is the name, comma msg1. Now we use msg function, and first we put name, name is equals to Rakesh, and msg equals to how are you. Then message is the name of Vijay replied by a message to Rakesh. I am fine, thank you. And now execute the command and see the output. Message msg is the function name, msg the name, comma message. So we let go little mistake, print hello name msg1. Sorry, this is the msg1. Okay, my argument, this is a function name, and it will be executed. Hello Rakesh, how are you? Hello Vijay, I am fine, thank you. So you can understand the default keyword, and so now keyword argument you will understand very well. Okay, so now next term is variable length argument. Variable length argument, as the name suggests, in certain situations we can pass variable number of to a functions. Okay, so my friends, just understand the terms. Okay, we use variable length arguments, as the name suggests, in certain situation we can pass the variable number of arguments to a function. It is called variable length arguments. Okay, so friends, are you getting what I want to convey, the things? Okay, now see the example of variable length arguments. So define the functions sum of the two value star n. Okay, this is the replicate operator and we use here. So total is equals to suppose 0 and for I in range I in n. Now total is equals to total plus I. Now print, so the sum of total total, and now execute the function of different manner. First is the default function, second we use parameter, okay, and third we use two parameter, and now four we used, and five you use four parameter. So understand the terms, what is the output. So first term when we execute total is equals to 0, so by default it will be written 0. Now our second term 2, total is equals to 0, so I run by 2 times, so total is a 0, when 1 and 1 2. Now 2 plus 3 5, 5 plus 4 9, and 9 plus 5 14. Automatically every time loop is moving and calculate the value for add the total and plus the value. This is the default arguments. Now passing the array list to functions. So how can we pass the array in list? We'll start tomorrow, so wait and watch. Please share, like and subscribe my channel, and don't forget to click the bell icon. Thank you, have a nice day, bye bye.